Hi everyone, welcome. We're working today on these two African nightcrawler worm bins. These are among my oldest systems, and at the present time they're foraging. They've been foraging for 38 days, like the system over there that about a week ago I set it up for migration. That thing foraged for exactly twice as long as this. So 38 days. It was 76 days of foraging over in that other system before we initiated migration. So I don't know if we're going to require that much time for foraging here. At some point we might start migration with these guys. I don't think we'll have to wait that long though. The funny thing is, even with all that foraging, that other system still doesn't seem like the material is quite as fine as what we have in here. So that's a big part of the reason I think we'll be at a point where we'll feel like we're good with the foraging in here sooner. And there was a time when I used to refer to this so-called foraging phase, which really just means no new bedding. I used to be a lot more strict in terms of what foraging meant, and for a while it was strictly giving them nothing, basically. And then I kind of transformed it into a thing that I called fed foraging. Then I kind of dropped the idea of it being a fed foraging, but then I started to think, well, what if somebody, perhaps a viewer of my channel from way back when were to return and, remember that I used to refer to foraging as one thing and now it's something a little different here. I didn't even really notice it until just now. So I figured I'd bring it up. But I guess after more than a month of foraging, of getting no new bedding, and in most cases types of foods that are going to go pretty quick, such as coffee and some of this nice new batch of worm chow that I got. That's the types of feedings I've been adding to these systems because I guess number one, it's dry food, and I do want to see the system dry. That's part of the reason the top surface here, especially out here on the edges, is a little bit dry by having not been covered. We have been wanting to see the material in the system become a little bit more crumbly and free-flowing, and every time we come in here it feels like it's definitely getting that way. In a way, you're putting certain bits of material that are out on the surface into a state where they're not really getting much worm attention anymore. Once the material gets dry and the worms can sense it, they'll go looking for something a little bit more comfortable to hang out in. But it is kind of nice to take that dry stuff that was out on the surface and blend it in with the more damp stuff that's down below. And all the stuff that's down below, all that damp stuff that's full of all these worms, they know where to go for the nice, cozy, damp material. All this, oh boy, I keep running into large, like, mango seed husks and stuff. They know where to go to get the good stuff, but that's the stuff that I'm sort of trying to break apart, aerate, and bring to the surface. Now that the stuff that is out on the surface had a chance to dry, and I guess the other thing is by submerging what's somewhat drier, it might be, I don't know, maybe absorbing a little bit of the moisture from the surrounding materials too, but it does feel like every so often, giving the system a little aeration like this is a good help to help dry the material. But we're not letting it go so fast that it could go out of control suddenly, because by keeping the plastic mostly on, we're only letting the outer perimeter of the systems dry. And at some point, the material in here is going to be obviously free of bedding, but also free of any sort of nourishment for the worms to be picking off. And I guess just the fact that they're in a material that's almost entirely their manure. Once we set them up with a nice new fresh set of bedding over in the edge of the bin somewhere, they'll come running for it, if you ask me. So we've tilled in the dry and brought the damp out to the surface, crumbling large chunks of stuff holding together due to higher moisture content. aerating along the way. Every handful, no matter where I go in these systems, seems to be chock full of worms. So many worms throughout this material. And I'm sure they're sensing the difference, or maybe not. I mean, it is happening so nice and gradually that maybe it's not setting them off. Perhaps the one thing that manifests itself is perhaps the worms will start getting a little bit scrawnier as their, I guess just basically the moisture content in their bodies starts to diminish a little bit with the absence of damp stuff around for them to absorb into their bodies. If we just keep giving them dry stuff like coffee and worm chow and nothing juicy, then it kind of makes sense that they might start losing some body mass due to moisture loss. I would assume that something like that is also something that they sense to a certain degree, perhaps triggering a response in them that sends them looking for something better. So that is the system that I mentioned earlier that was up on the shelf that we referenced earlier about being in migration now already. I peeked in on it just the other day. Normally I don't peek under the covers, but I was curious when I was checking in, and I definitely saw a lot of worms gathering. So they like having a nice little oasis to run off into. Let's head on to the feeding portion of today's check-in. We've given both systems a nice aeration, inspection, centralizing whatever chunks of leftover material we bumped into along the way. I can't even really complain about the little leaf stems I run into here and there. Until I just saw a couple of them sitting there next to each other, they didn't even really register in my mind as being there as we went through this material, and that in itself might be a good sign that says perhaps we've actually reached that stage of fineness in this material that it's time to get their migration started and heading out of this stuff so that they can get relocated into a new home. All right. Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of coffee in here, so I figured let's just give it to them all. That's what we got there. And my worm chow, yeah, I think, here I go scattering everything. Silly me. I just wanted to blend the coffee in a little bit, but after I sprinkled it in, it covered all those large chunks of older material that I tried to centralize. Let's get them back to where they were. And in can come my current batch of worm chow. Alrighty. Dry food. Kind of makes sense here, because if that's the objective, to watch the material in here's moisture level drop, then adding juicy stuff would definitely be kind of counterproductive to that. And what we did last time, which was to just replace the plastic covers very loosely and deliberately offset from the edges, will allow the stuff out on the edges to once again get a little bit dry, a little bit inhospitable, and the next time we come in it'll get blended in. Hey, who knows, next time we come back in we might be setting these guys up for migration. What do you think? Is it ready? I'm starting to feel like they might be. 38 days of foraging seems to have taken these systems right up to the point where maybe it is time to start thinking about a new home for these guys and harvesting all their lovely vermicompost that they left behind in here. Alright, this piece of plastic just doesn't want to behave. Alright everyone, that's it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please don't forget to leave me a quick thumbs up before you go. That's always really appreciated. If you haven't done so already, please also consider subscribing to the channel. That's very much appreciated as well. Alright everyone, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.